So welcome back to Med Audio. We have today a new location. Not really a new location. I'm outside, it's summer, pretty hot, and better to do my review here. And if you're asking yourself why I am reading from my iPhone, well, you know guys that I'm not a native English speaker, so I prefer to read my script to let everything very clean. So let's move with the review of today, that is the Fosi Luna turntable. When I first heard that Fosi was entering the turntable market with the Luna 3, I was very curious. This is a company that built great reputations around very beautiful budget electronics like DEC and Class D amplifier. We review many, and some of them were okay and some of them were really good. So naturally I was hoping the Luna 3 might offer that same kind of value in the analog space. But unfortunately the Luna 3 tells a different story. And after several weeks of testing, I have to say that these turntables raises more questions than it answers. The Fosi Luna 3 is a fully manual belt-driven turntables featuring a minimalist matte black plinth, a transparent acrylic platter, and a 8.6-inch aluminum tone arm, fitted with the Audio-Technica VM95E moving magnet cartridge. It supports 33 and 45 RPM speed and uses a servo motor control with acclaimed speed variations of 0.11%. Something we will take a look closer just in a moment, because I tested also this. Very important, the Luna 3 does not include a built-in phono preamp. So you will need an external phono preamp if you don't have one in your integrated amplifier. I suggest to take a look of my budget review phono amps, so please just check the videos in the comment sections down below. And let's move to unboxing. Inside the box we'll find a solid and fairly heavy acrylic platter, a dust cover with the Fosi logo on it. I'm not a fan of logo on the dust cover. Personally, I think that it will look more clean to not have any logo on it. You also get a 12-volt power supply, an Audio-Technica VM95E cartridge pre-mounted on the head shells, and a platter mat. That's quite unusual. It's made of this transparent orange PVC. It looked really beautiful. I thought in the beginning there were some sort of illuminations, but it's not like that. What I really love is that I never experienced the static build-up. So really a positive thing. Then we have the counterweight, we have the sub-platter that is made of a very cheap plastics, and underneath there are 3 holes, but only one seems to contain a magnet or metal insert of some kind. I'm honestly not sure if it has to be like that or not. Pretty strange. Something important to say is not coming with any RCA cables. That's a big miss, especially for an entry-level product where buyers might not even realize they need a ground wire. A turntable in this retail price should always have inside a connection cable. The matte finish looks good from a distance, but when you get up close, especially at the corners, you will notice some minor cosmetic flaws. On the plus side, assembly is very easy and intuitive. I will not go in details here. You can find a dedicated video on the Fosi Audio webpage. One thing I do want to highlight is that the plinth is actually quite heavy, and the 4 large rubber feet give it a good sense of stability. That said, in my isolation test, as we will see, it doesn't perform really well, but we will go on this just in a moment. Once I complete the assembly, I start to take a look of the constructions of the tone arm and the plinth, of course. And I noticed some sign of imprecise constructions that become really obvious. The platter has a shocking amount of wobble, and even worse, so does the tone arm. Pretty crazy in my opinion, and that's a turntable that I received from Fosi, so they check it of course. And to me, the bearings feel really cheap. And I could even feel the motor's vibrations through the headshells while placing the stylus onto the record. And speaking about the cartridge, the moving magnet, the Audio-Technica, when I checked the calibration, I noticed that the stylus was unfortunately bent. The cartridge alignment itself looked fine, so it likely happened during assembly. Fosi should really improve the quality control here. I mean, it's not nice to receive a turntable like that. Luckily, since the stylus is interchangeable, I just bought a replacement for around 36 euro and moved on. Very funny, when I first powered on, I thought the turntable was not working, but actually only starts spinning when you move the tone arm toward the record. A small feature, but it can be confusing at first. Another useful touch that I really like is the auto stop functions, which stop the platter at the end of the record. Really great if you tend to fall asleep during your listening section. But not everything was so smooth, unfortunately. The motor is noticeably noisy, not just mechanically, so when I touch the HL, but also through the speaker. It's not extreme, but it's definitely there. Also classic reality versus photo. Here you can see the HL's wires touching the record. I had to adjust them, so be aware of that during setup. And now let's move to measurement that I perform, of course, with AnalogMagik. If you don't know, guys, what is a fantastic analyzer tool. Check out my video review about it. And the first test, really quickly, is speed accuracy. We have here a test on 33.3 and 45 RPM, and I measured at 33.47 RPM, so a bit slightly faster. 45 was good. Fosi about this, they are going to send external device for adjust this the speed, but unfortunately I didn't receive it yet. On the other hand, WoW and Flutter measures really well, which suggested the speed is at least stable and controlled once it's running. As I mentioned earlier, we have vibration and isolations didn't perform so well. Tapping on the table raised the noise level significantly. One positive result was the resonance test, so the match between the tone arm and the cartridge, also really important. I spoke about it in the AnalogMagik review. There is a formula for that, but yeah, is not quite so precise. With the AnalogMagik you can see it directly. And here we had a peak length at 9.4 Hz and the graph was clean and well damped. Sign that the cartridge was matched properly with the tone arm. Overall, the measurements are in line with my expectations for turntables in this price range, though the speed accuracy and vibrations test was here a drawback. I will keep this part really brief. It simply didn't perform as it should. I didn't enjoy so much the sound of the Fosi Luna 3. There is a lack of bass definition, a noticeable noise floor that kills transparency a lot, and the imaging overall is poor. Soundstage feel narrow, compressing instruments and vocals together with absolutely no sense of depth in the soundstage. And I tested this with both regular pressing and high quality pressing. At first I thought the issue might be the entry-level Audio-Technica cartridge, so I swapped it out for a more refined Pro-Ject EVO, which by the way fits perfectly and is compatible too. I forget to mention that with the tone arm you cannot adjust the VTA, something really important to say, so please stuck on this type of cartridges. By the way, the Pro-Ject EVO cost I think around 200 bucks and Audio-Technica around 50 or 60, something like that. And the sound did improve slightly with the better cartridge, but not enough to justify the cost. A clear sign that the turntable itself is a bottleneck and not the cartridge. And now let's speak about comparisons. We review many entry-level turntables, not at 300 bucks unfortunately, but around 500, 600. And I'm speaking about the Dual CS518, really beautiful turntables, great build quality, or the Yamaha, for example. No, now I'm not remember the name, Musicast 500 if I'm not wrong, something like that. And in the end we have of course the Pro-Ject Debut EVO 2, which I consider the king of turntables below 700 euro. Its constructions, engineering and sound performance are on a completely different level. It's one of the analog best products in this class that I ever test. Beautiful. But I know you are thinking, mad, I have only 350 bucks. You are right to ask, I hear that. That's why I'm planning to review turntables in this more turntables in this price range category, so around between 300 and 400 bucks, coming really soon, so stay tuned please. In the end, considering the price, it might be acceptable, but only for casual listening. Unfortunately, judged purely on performance, Luna 3 is a letdown. With the Luna 3, Fosi has shown that attaching a stylus to a tone arm is not enough to build a good turntable. This is not a deck or an amplifier in class D. A good turntables require a real engineering, a real mechanical know-how, and tight quality control at every level, even for the tiniest components, to avoid cutting corners. So unfortunately, up to date, I'm really struggling to find a solid reason to recommend the Luna 3. Hopefully, future reviews will address all these issues. And that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have the turntables and you enjoy it, please keep do it. Don't change your opinion only based on mine. From Audio is everything. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.